This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your source for the latest Iowa ag news headlines right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Andy Peterson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Dustin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Huffman. Today's Thursday, March the 6th, 2025. So glad you could join us here today. I'm glad to be back from Denver, Colorado, and Commodity Classic. Coming up later on in the program, we'll talk with Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net to take a look at how the numbers closed. But first, we're going to talk with Growth Energy CEO Emily Skor. Had a chance to catch up with her real quick at Commodity Classic in Denver. And here's what she had to say about where things stand right now with E15 and other biofuels policies. Commodity Classic 2025, Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network in Denver, talking with Emily Skor, Growth Energy. Emily, it's good to catch up with you again.
Great to see you.
All right, so we talked in November. We had a lot of what ifs, in the air with the new administration coming in. Now we've had them for a month and a half or so, almost a little over a month and a half. What do we see in here? We know there's been some news with E15 and some battles and some good things. So kind of tell us where we're at right now.
So let's start where I'm most optimistic right now, really, which is on the opportunities ahead with E15. So the good news is we have our E15 legislative fix. That legislation has been reintroduced by our champions in the House and the Senate, both Republicans and Democrats. So that bill has been reintroduced. Now this bill was included in the final spending compromise bill, one of the near final ones at the end of the year. So we were included in that bill. It fell apart after Elon Musk has had some words to say about it. So now we have to be able to work with our congressional champions, get this into a spending bill that's going to be moving. The most immediate opportunity might be in something that would be coming up even the end of next month. But I think we'll see some potential opportunities through the year. And we've got Congress who's laser focused on E15 and a president who day one included an executive order in his conversations around energy dominance and America First, a commitment to E15 and summer sales. So this is an administration where the president knows the power of E15, what that does, 2 billion bushels of corn demand if we're all driving on a 15% blend. You couple that with a Congress that really has momentum, and we have a little bit more support now from the petroleum industry too. So I think this is going to be a good year for us for E15.
Outside of E15, what kind of things are we looking at?
So this is going to be an important year for us with the Renewable Fuel Standard. We need EPA to come out with renewable volume blending obligations for 2026 and beyond. They're actually already behind, as they often are, but this is going to be really important for us. We have been working with the petroleum industry, with members of the petroleum industry, to present kind of a united perspective to EPA that we need to see reliable, strong volumes that allow for growth in conventional biofuels and advanced biofuels and renewable diesel, biomass-based diesel, and ethanol. So there's going to be a lot of conversation and dialogue. I don't have a material update on that now, but it was a big part of the confirmation process for Administrator Zeldin. He was asked many times by senators on E15, but also on the RFS, and his commitment to be timely and committed to following what the market is going to need. And so that's going to be a big work stream and big conversation for us this year.
So is Administrator Zeldin at least a willing listener? Because I know there was some concern when he was getting appointed that he wasn't always the best fan of biofuels, but obviously EPA is a different thing than voting in the halls of Congress.
In his conversations through the confirmation process and with stakeholders, he has continued to communicate that he understands the president's commitment to biofuels, the role of biofuels in strengthening the farm economy. And so as long as he remains committed to that and committing to implementing policy that is going to follow what his boss's agenda is, that's where we have to keep him focused.
That again was Growth Energy CEO Emily Skor. We're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association, and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, we'll talk about the closing numbers. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net. We're back on Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and time to talk about the closing markets. And right now we're with Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net. Curt, what did we see happen in those grains today?
Boy, if you don't like it, just wait a little while. I mean, that corn market dropped 70, 80 cents in about 8 days now. In 2 days, we're 30 off the low. Beans dropped $1 during the month of February, and in 2 days, we're 40 cents off the low. So just a little bit of volatility. We finished the day, corn 3 to 8 higher, beans 12 to 16 cents higher, and the wheat market up about 4 to 5 cents a bushel. So just a little bit touchy. Probably the biggest news here with all is that U.S. Mexican Canadian agreement that was put in effect, I think probably when Trump was in office, is still in effect, and that goes off April 2nd. So I think somebody pointed out we really can't push these tariff issues under that trade agreement. So the trade lawyers, attorneys are busy trying to figure out what's what. So right now, it looks like we can still have a decent relationship with Mexico here, at least till first part of April.
All right. And then moving over to the livestock side of things, Curt, what did we see in the cattle markets?
It was a encouraging day. The cattle market particularly, it had a massive price reversal up here on Tuesday, kind of got a spike bottom. We're holding together. Cattle hung in there, and they were down about 10 to 50. Feeders down, anywhere from 60 cents to $2, but the hog market was up anywhere from 50 to 220. Hogs gets the star so far. If we don't see a disaster tomorrow, they're about $6 off the lows. What affects the hogs more than anything too is the Mexican relationship. We move a lot of pork into Mexico, so it's going to be important to keep that relationship. As far as feed needs, you might want to take a look at that here. We've basically had a pretty good sell-off in through here. So if you're looking at feed needs for the livestock, that's going to offer an opportunity. Also on feed needs, we'll see what next week brings on the monthly supply demand report. They're expecting an unchanged number. Corn stocks down about 23 million bushel from the previous report. Soybeans about unchanged. The big thing is if they start messing with that or adjusting that Brazilian Argentine bean yield, because meal is pretty cheap for livestock guys in here. You might want to take a look at that.
All right, Curt, if folks want to take a look at some of their options for marketing and make some strategies, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Man, the simplest way is agmarket.net. Clicking on Intel, the team puts together quite a bit of things to look at there, so take a peek at it.
All right, Curt, well, we thank you so much for the insight, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Very good. Take care.
That again was Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net. Let's take a look at how the market's closed. Taking a look at that on the Iowa AgNet market screen. May corn closed up 8 1/4 at $4.64 even. Soybeans up 15 1/2 at $10.27 1/4. Soy meal up $5.10 at $304.90 per ton. Soy oil up 18 cents at $43.17. Chicago wheat up 5 3/4 at $5.54 even. Kansas wheat up 8 3/4 at $5.65 3/4. Minneapolis spring wheat up 6 cents at $5.94 even. Oats down 3 3/4 at $3.77 1/4. On the Merc, live cattle down 27 cents at $196.27. Feeders down $2.07 at $274.02. Lean hogs up $1.95 at $86.65. Pork cutouts unchanged at $96.80. And Class 3 milk 8 cents higher at $18.33. That's the end of our market recap, and that brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all our content online at iowaagnet.com, or you can also find us on Facebook, X, and on our YouTube channel. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we do a new video project. From the IARN studios in Des Moines, I'm Dustin Huffman. For Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Andy Peterson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.